Experts can apparently multiply a 6-digit number by a 5-digit number in just 3 seconds. Mind you, there's only about 15 people in the whole country that can do that, but nevertheless. Just for an example, I've written out a couple of random numbers, a 6-digit number and a 5-digit number here. So it's like 7 9s are 63, carry 6, 7 8s are 56, plus 6 is 62, carry 6 again, etc., etc. You've got to make 30 separate calculations in 3 seconds. It doesn't make any sense at all to most people, I'm sure. Apparently what these experts are doing is keeping an image of the beads in their mind while they're making the calculations. Some people use one of these. Apparently Takayanagi-san, who was with me a moment ago, doesn't need one of these, but some less experienced people will use a frame without the beads, and they just run their fingers over it to help them make the calculations. Nevertheless, 30 calculations in 3 seconds sounds like genius level to me. The direct ancestor of
World War, Japan's traditional prowess at mathematics was given an opportunity to prove itself. A contest was held to see which was faster, a Soroban or a mechanical calculator. The Soroban won decisively. This triumph was cause for elation across the country. It also led to a new Soroban boom, with enthusiastic students packing into Soroban classes. As the economy recovered after the war, the Soroban became a symbol of people's aspiration to improve their living standards. By the 1970s, however, the new compact electronic calculators had taken over in the world of commerce. Although the Soroban still remains a fundamental part of children's education, today it has virtually vanished from the business world.
I have a selection here of different abacuses from different time periods, different places. Let's start here. This is a replica of one that would have been used in ancient Rome. And you have metal beads which slide up and down grooves cut into a marble slab here. I'm not sure why some of the grooves are longer, some are shorter. These ones have 2 beads, this one has 3. Your guess is as good as mine, but that's from ancient Rome, or a replica of an ancient Roman one anyway. This one here, with the beads on a diagonal, is from Russia. And again, you've got 4-2-4 configuration here, and some of them just have 4 beads. This one is a Japanese one. I'm not quite sure how old this is, but it's a double one. So presumably if you wanted to calculate accounts in and accounts out, you could do it at the same time. These two here, this bigger one and a slightly smaller version of it, both come from the Edo period. This apparently was a samurai household version of a Soroban, and this is the commoner's version, which is slightly smaller. But again, both of them have 5 lower beads and 2 upper beads, which is the same as the original Chinese version came in, although you can see the shape of the beads has already changed. The Soroban is, of course, a calculation tool, although it's now known that continued Soroban use can lead to a sharpening of mental skills altogether. In recent days, there's growing concern about the decline in Japanese children's mathematical skills, and this has led to a reappraisal of the role of the Soroban in education.
At this primary school, one of the teachers, Narahara Yaemi, is using an unusual type of abacus with 100 beads. The colourful beads add a strong visual dimension to arithmetic classes. Ten can be made up from different combinations of numbers: 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, and so on. The ability to perform calculations depends on being able to combine and break apart these sets of numbers in an instant. In recent years, there have been growing indications of a decline in numeracy skills in Japan. In an OECD study of 15-year-olds in 57 countries, conducted in 2006, Japan ranked 10th. That was a steep decline. Just 6 years earlier, Japan was in top place. Even more serious is the drop in interest in learning maths. Another study of 37 countries and regions had Japan second from the bottom in the percentage of students saying that they liked arithmetic and mathematics. As a result, Japan's primary schools have begun to reconsider the way in which they teach the traditional fundamentals of reading, writing and Soroban. A new Soroban program has been introduced at this primary school in Fujioka, in Gunma Prefecture, north of Tokyo. Having developed a newfound appreciation for the merits of the traditional Soroban, a private instructor has been brought in. I like the click-clack sound. Using the tens column was really hard.
As we saw earlier on, the 3 R's, the traditional reading, writing and Soroban, if you like, form the fundamental basis of education going all the way back to the Buddhist temple schools. Reading and writing are, of course, essential in any culture, but an ability to calculate has long been considered of equal importance in Japan. And, of course, that's one reason why the Soroban has been a tool of vital importance. It's not just its function as a calculating tool either. The fact that it uses a right-brain creative approach to traditionally left-brain logical problems is again an interesting touch. And for those of us who have to buy a new computer every couple of years because our current model has become outdated, this could be a fairly useful and very inexpensive investment to make. And if you find that your skills never really get there, you can always use it as a percussion instrument. See you next time.
Starting with 1,825,000,000.
This Soroban competition is being called in English. In recent years, this has become a popular variation in Soroban contests. It's a challenge for the callers as well.
Starting with 326,504,000,000 です。挟んです。
Starting with +3.
And this is an English language Soroban class.
-1.
The aim is to enable the children to learn English while honing their Soroban skills.
4,000 -29 +11 +43. That's all.
6,224.
That's right. Starting with $293.
Soroban classes are also being held for foreigners in Japan.
$198. $800.
There's no reason why they can't become just as good at it as Japanese Soroban users. The biggest hurdle is training their fingers to work with dexterity.
Very interesting. Teaching very interestingly.
It's my first time to see a Soroban. Qu'est-ce que c'est? The Soroban appears to have a universal appeal. It's an instrument that makes mathematics fun. Even in the modern world, with computers and electronic calculators at our fingertips, the Soroban refuses to die out, because it allows us to work out the answers for ourselves, using our own brains and fingers.